Hey everybody, Rodman here for a new series. So my friend Damien suggested I try a single planet playthrough, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So right off the bat, let's do something weird. Let's have a portrait of a creature that looks fragile. You look fragile, right? Alright, so we'll call these Raltech. That's great. Raltech, RT. Well, that's like Russia today. I'll call it Raw. Traits. I'm going to do Thrifty, Non-Adaptive, because we're only going to have one planet, it won't really matter. Sedentary, once again, one planet won't really matter. Intelligent, and Traditional. Let's call this Raw Tech Prime. Yeah, I'm real original here. Raw Tech. City appearance, we're mammalian. I'll keep it mammalian. Government and ethics. Now this is what gets interesting. I'm going to do fanatic spiritualist and egalitarian. I'm going to pick a democratic authority with Beacon of Liberty and life seeded. So what Beacon of Liberty does is gives me 15% more unity on top of the 20% I get off of Fanatic Spiritualist, and then Life Seeded sets me in a Gaia world and makes my preference Gaia, so that I can't. It's the biggest planet possible. That gives me a bit of an edge. I'll give myself the Spiritualist advisor. We'll call it the Raltech Alliance. Flag. So something that looks very spiritualistic. That looks spiritualistic to me. That kind of matches the leader a little bit. Big bug-eyed. Spiritualistic ships. Mollusk. Why not? And then the ruler doesn't really matter. I'll change the room to be... this looks spiritualistic. They have some sort of idol back there. That almost matches the flag. Yeah. So we'll save Raltech Alliance, and the galaxy, let's have it small with 2 Fallens, 2 Marauders, Crisis Strength, Full Strength, and that looks good. Also play on Iron Man, as you can tell. I play everything on Iron Man. This is one of those games where you'll never get better if you load saves. Alright, so starting off, let's look at our leaders. I've got leaders I don't really like. There's one that's decent, I guess. Power plants, planetary unification, and mining network. I'm going to immediately start surveying towards the choke points, because that's important. Send my mining ship or my construction ship to create a mine. And then try to pick a place for my temple. So I'll put the temple in the corner. Temple. As you can see, there's no empty tiles. If there was a free tile, I guess I could put it here, but if there was whatever. Doesn't matter. Alright, and we'll start. And I'm going to run it on fastest. I'm going to be changing the speed of the game and constantly pausing. I want to run through this quickly because basically the next patch is afoot. It will be coming out soon, and I don't want this series to run into the next patch because I want to cover the next patch when I can. Alright, I just built that mining. Let's have my ship move over to the energy, so that I can tap it once the month ends. I just built the temple, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move one of my guys that are on energy over to the temple. Let's see, species, set rights. I'm going to set this to Utopian Abundance. make them a little happier. They'll, as a result, they'll be a little bit more productive. So if you look at the boons to this temple, for instance, I've got 10% of traditional, 15% beacon of liberty, 20% fanatic spiritualist, another 6% because of my leader, another 10% because of the Gaia world, another 2% because of the skill of the governor, and then happiness is another 7.5%. So there's a huge, if you look at my unity gain, I have a huge amount of things that boon to my unity. Basically, this empire is going to be very unity based. And the joy of that is because I will only have one planet. I'll actually be able to get a lot of the ascension perks quickly, because if you build small and tall, you tech up faster. That's just the way the game works. All right. So here's our first. So all of my spiritual fuzzy wuzzies are going to want me to get harmony. I'm going to get harmony second. I'm going to get science first, and I'm going to activate map the stars. I should have already been mapping the stars for Antares, but oh well. Too late for that. And that allows me to get anomalies in my home system. I've mentioned this before, but I really like anomalies. So, speaking of which, there's one. I'm not going to research the anomalies yet. I want to get as much... Wow, a lot happening. I want to get as much of my local cluster surveyed before I go anomaly hunting. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my starting... A lot of those kind of reports are sort of ignorable. It's just saying, oh, there's like a life out in the galaxy. It's like, yeah, I know, because this is my th game of Stellaris. I don't need to be reminded that I'm not alone. So I'm going to turn my starter station into a trading hub and move my my starport, my shipyard to Antares.
Construction complete.
All right, construction complete would be the trade port. Yeah. All right, so I got another. Let's increase survey speed. And I'm starting to claim Antares. So these systems that I'm starting around are really secured behind Antares, because Antares is a very nice immediate checkpoint to Reltech and all these systems. So they'll all, once I claim all these systems, pirates can't start back there, is kind of the idea. Let's see, policies and edicts. That's okay. I'm going to keep my food low so that my population grows as fast as possible. If I raised my food cap, the extra food wouldn't go to population growth, which is only 0.07 food surplus, but it would go to the bank. You get banked, and that's not particularly helpful to me. Wow, so this guy just became a super anomaly researcher. He's he'll be really fast at finding anomalies.
System survey complete.
Analyzing them. That works for me. All right, so I'm going to pause just for a second to look at better leaders. So I have 2 leaders that I'd rather recruit. Because I'm a democratic society, I'm not going to fire my old leaders, because a new ruler will be elected every 10 years. And having extra leaders is really useful in democratic societies. But what I'm going to do is replace some of my scientists and replace my governor with traits that I'd prefer to have. So rather than have a governor that gets leader experience gain, I'll do one that has science. Just because I'm spiritualistic doesn't mean I should neglect science. Now, it only is a teeny. It's a 10% difference. which is barely anything now, but eventually when the whole
Situation log
planet
updated.
is full of research stations, that will add up. And then I have these two leaders left over. So I do have a scientist left over that is not doing anything. So one of the things I should do pretty soon is to
complete.
build a science ship to utilize him for more surveying. Because these guys aren't, my current scientists aren't meticulous, meaning that they find anomalies at a higher rate. So
Anomaly found.
because I have no meticulous scientists, I might as well just survey everything. So after my construction ship builds the mining station for energy credits, I'm going to head over to the more rich system back there. So at the moment, I have research station mandate. So we'll see if I can't build 3 more research stations. That is my current mandate.
Construction complete.
Alright. Getting some more traditions unlocked. And let's crank out a science ship. So I want to start surveying my local cluster as soon as I can.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Okay, I got some research. Let's get afterburners next.
Construction complete.
And then I built the science ship. So put the scientist in it and start surveying outwards.
Anomaly found.
This guy is finding plenty of anomalies. There's already like 2 in this system. At the moment, the scientist is a little low level, and as a result, should level up more before analyzing those anomalies. However, he does have like 85% anomaly research speed. So this is a pretty wealthy system in terms of minerals, which is cool. And I'm finding a lot of big planets, a 17 and a 23. I mean, this would have been much more useful if I had any aims to... Whoop, there's another one. This is precursor research. Is this 2? No. So I already have one of my 6 required precursor research things lined up. Oh, my other scientist just leveled up too. And then all of my starter scientists just leveled up. It's useful to look at what leaders you can recruit and replace
Construction complete.
often. Alright, the next thing I want to do is build an outpost there so that I can tap all those minerals.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Queuing up, so got some good research. Let's gain some more additional research speed. And now I can actually upgrade my power plants. Now power, I can tell you, with one planet, power becomes your bottleneck late in the game. So initially, it won't be an issue. You'll have plenty of power. But later, when you have one planet generating
System
power,
survey complete.
trying to support a massive fleet of ships, that's what gets expensive. And that's why at my species, if we look, is thrifty. It's not something I usually use because energy credits are far, in my opinion, far less useful than a lot of the other traits. But I know from experience that a single planet empire will have energy problems later on. I'm just changing some of the surveying so that these ships don't have to double back on each other. Alright, and then what I'm doing with this ship is I'm having him mine the most profitable mineral nodes first.
Anomaly found.
That will obviously get me more bang from the buck.
Us new wisdom.
So now I've upgraded my monthly unity, and I'm immediately going to get Hollow Temple, because that's going to be even more. I'm really trying to get as much unity as possible. I want to get ahead of the game unity-wise. Because I'm spiritualistic, I'm probably going to go the psychic tree, which means, you know, I want to rack in that unity quick. I also want to get harmony before I get factions, because my spiritualistic faction, which is likely to be my largest faction, is going to be dissatisfied when I don't have harmony researched. So as you can see here, I already have 3 of my 6 precursor things found, which is really, really good, because finding that precursor nation early, it can be a really powerful boon.
Construction complete.
Next up, I'm going to get the research stations. There seems to be a bunch of research here too. Getting the research stations because that is my my mandate. Now, one of the tricks I've used in the past
System survey complete.
sometimes doesn't work, which is to destroy a station that you've already built and then rebuild it for the benefit. I can always try that, but it doesn't always work. Sometimes it either I'm not sure what happens. It bugs out or something.
Anomaly found.
There's my 4th precursor activity. Alright, so this construction ship. Let's move over here. I just need 1.5 more minerals to build here. And then after building those 2 physics nodes,
blocker cleared.
I will I'll be able to complete that mandate. So I cleared a tile blocker for more minerals. I can clear a few more. I'll queue up a few more to clear, because I have some additional energy credits. It's always useful to check the leaders, see if there's any new ones that you can recruit up. Because I'm going to go the harmony tree, your leaders will live a little bit longer, because the tradition of mind and body increases their lifespan by 20 years, which is a pretty significant amount of time. Alright, so I'm meeting my first, which is a fallen empire, which unfortunately cuts my ability to to expand southwards. Let's just say hello. Obviously, I'm only going to be able to survey here. They are military isolationists. Hopefully, they won't mess with us. They are xenophobes, after all, so it would be bad if they did.
Construction complete.
There seems to be a lot of nice continental worlds around me. A 17, a 21. Worlds that I will not utilize. Womp womp. I'm canceling that just to change the order, because I'd rather have the minerals now than later. Alright, my construction ship has queued up building the last 2 research stations I need for the research mandate. I have 3 years left before a new leader's elected. They're elected every 10 years, which is really easy to figure out up there. So I'm not falling behind on that, which is good.
System survey complete.
Now, there's a lot of other bottlenecks that I'd really want to get to. I don't want to get locked in. So I really want to spread quickly. But I also don't want pirates popping up, like, in my own backyard, so there's a lot of little things I got to address.
System survey complete.
Well, that's not a bad system.
Construction complete.
I just did the research mandate, which gave me some unity. Really early on, that's really, I mean, it's always helpful to do the mandates, but really early on, it really does help give you an edge, Unity-wise, compared to your opponents. The thing is, there are research agreements, and there is analyzing debris of ships and things like that. There's a lot of different ways to sort of catch up on research if you've fallen behind. But there's not a lot of ways, or really no ways, to catch up on Unity. I mean, there's a few events and quest chains and things like that that you might be able to do. But for the most part, if you're behind on Unity, you stay behind on Unity. So it is one of the ways to sort of get a huge edge compared to your opponents. So I'm definitely going to want all of these, but I'll just pick... I'll pick combat rolls for... No, I'll pick better shields. Sometimes it's a real up for grabs of what the best is. So here I'm probably going to pick extra minerals and army damage. That's kind of to me, a no-brainer. I don't even need to do anything for that. I've been looking for a good admiral, but I don't like the trickster admiral. It just doesn't really help them fight better. It just...
Our ships have been improved.
Yeah. Doesn't really do anything for me.
Anomaly found.
I haven't touched any of the anomalies yet. I will eventually. It also looks like societal research. My societal research is woefully falling behind. So I'm also going to think about getting that societal tile tapped and unlocked. So it'd be bad to fall significantly behind. Now, I've just ran into an alien, and this is one that is likely an empire. I don't know if they're here or they're likely here. They're likely here, which means I really want to get this bottleneck ASAP. Alright, so I have an election underway for a new leader. I'm not going to meddle in the election. They can elect whoever they want. No electioneering from me. I'm just going to queue my construction ship up to tap as much of these minerals as possible. Alright, new leader was elected. He's really not that helpful. Oh, we re-elected the old leader. Oh, that's too bad. I should have maybe meddled. Alright, so we just finished Discovery. I'm going to go and get one Vision, which is even more monthly Unity, so I can really start pulling ahead on the Unity. And now I'm encountering another Empire down here. So I am potentially going to get locked in pretty quick. So what I'm going to do is create another construction ship, because I have a lot of influence that I'm not really using, and I'm going to start building outwards too. I wanted it to utilize the resources that I have available to me. You know, it'd be kind of wasteful to create outposts and not actually use the resources there, but I do feel like it's a bit of a land war, you know, a frontier rush. So that tile blocker clear was for the societal research, and I'm going to move my soon-to-be population into it. I'm also going to want additional food, and I got my first faction. This is probably the spiritualistic faction. No, this is the egalitarian faction. I'm just going to rename them egalitarian. That's good that that's the first faction that came out, because I've satisfied all their needs. Whereas the spiritualistic faction, I don't have harmony yet, so they'd kind of be pissed that I did science first. And there they are. They're probably not going to be friendly
An
neighbors
alien
to me.
empire now speaks to us in
And
the
there's the other
language
ones.
of the divine.
And as you can see, I'm really going to get bottlenecked pretty quick, which is why I'm trying to build out
Construction
ASAP.
complete. Construction complete. System survey complete.
So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to grab Isval before my neighbors do, so I can go north. Going south doesn't matter as much because I'm running into everyone. Now, I might build my shipyard at this place. I gotta rename this. Raltex. Raltesh. There we go. Because I couldn't pronounce the other one. So I'm gonna probably move it here, just because that is a even more natural bottleneck. It makes it potentially vulnerable, but I'm fine with that.
Construction complete.
It looks like I'm gonna get Isval before my neighbor. I would like Uzamara or whatever that's called, because that seems to have a lot of resources, but I might not get there
The
first.
spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Looking at my neighbors, they dislike me, but they're probably not likely to go to war immediately with me, which is good. Now another issue is, map the stars. Okay.
System survey
If they survey first and I don't survey first, the advantages of me
complete.
having all of my anomaly research, etc., is kind of not. So that's another thing to consider. But I'm not going to re-up map the stars because I'm kind of out of places to go. So it looks like my neighbor has triggered some pirates. I did just get a second faction. This is the spiritualistic faction. Spiritualists. Egalitarians, I guess I'll make it. There we go. Alright, so this scientist here is kind of out of places to survey. I guess I can start surveying north.
Construction complete.
I also just got Birth of Space Piracy. I did beat my neighbors to the punch up here, which is really, really good. I cut them off, which is totally what I wanted. And hopefully I get Uzmara first. I have a construction ship ready to go, and they don't, so... Oh, the pirates are going to be really, really easy to defeat.
Stations is beset by enemies.
Because they're going to fly straight at my shipyard, and they obviously started at Mezkaban.
Construction complete.
And I'll deal with them in a moment. At home, we're all set. I don't need to do anything there. I'm going to reinforce my fleet of 3 ships. Let's see if I have an admiral. Yeah, I'll pick one of these stupid admirals. It makes the fleet barely cheaper, but whatever. I had the energy.
Construction complete.
And let's go bash that
Construction complete.
That pirate base. Another thing that I've been neglecting is making energy mining bases. Oh, yep, so I just cut them off too. I got both choke points before they did. I won the land rush, essentially. And Julao looks like a pretty profitable little system too. So that's good. Because once I'm done with this immediate expansion, I'm probably... Oh! One of my rivals just closed a border to me. These guys. So let's go ahead and close the border back on them. Now the thing with this is sometimes the game takes a little bit to catch up. I should be able to rival them. I border them and we are equivalent in power, but the game sometimes is like, nope, I don't know what you're talking about. You don't border each other yet. Maybe that's a bug that will get worked out sometime in the future.
Construction complete.
But for now, it is kind of an annoying one. So I'm at the point in the game where I'm going to want to build up my economy, but also not have a fleet
complete.
easy to push over. So I want to be somewhat equivalent fleet strength to my neighbors, or they're going to declare war on me, and likely they're going to stomp me before they mess with my each other. You know, and I don't want to be the victim. Oh, I just discovered some new aliens. Which means I do need a somewhat decent standing fleet.
Construction complete.
Which is expensive. And obviously not exactly what I want, but I need it. Also, I have another orbital research mandate, so actually maybe I'm going to start building these research stations. And I'll let the new aliens discover my communications rather than the inverse. Oh, it's curators. Which means... Oh, there we go. Close my borders to you. Declare you rivals. Declare you rivals. Now, how similar are these guys to each other? Authoritarian, fanatic militarist, militarist, fanatic materialist. They might ally, which would be bad for me, obviously. But we'll have to take time and see. So the curator that just discovered me is all the way over here. Okay. Sometimes they don't do it through proximity, and obviously this is one of those cases.
Construction complete.
Alright, so I have an equivalent fleet with them and an equivalent fleet with them. They didn't have particularly big fleets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on expanding my economy and my research while keeping lockstep with their fleet size and strength.
Have granted us new wisdom.
I don't want them to get ahead of me. Alright, so let's adopt harmony now. That will please my spiritualist faction. And let's look at some military stuff, because likely we're going to get ourselves embroiled into a war. They just got a defensive pact. So if I go to war with one, I go to war with both, and that's good to know. I also just got research. What did I get? I got deflectors. At this point, let's actually manually design our ships. Making sure that we have... Yeah, that's actually exactly what I would have as a ship, basically.
Our ships have been improved.
Because, yeah, this is likely to be kind of a nasty pit fight in a moment here. They're gonna dig their heels in, and it's gonna get a little dirty.
Construction complete.
All right, so I want to save up to upgrade my temple to a hollow temple.
Construction complete.
But I also want to get the orbital research mandate soon too. So I'm going to queue up my research stations, and then I'll get the hollow temple. As I roll up my sleeves, because both my neighbors are now allied with each other. Or at least defensive pact. I mean, they're not functionally allied. Alright, so both my ships... It might be time. I'm going to wait until this guy hits level 4, and then I'm going to have him go and start doing anomaly research. And in 10 days, I'll have the Hollow Temple. There we go. Just making sure I'm still equivalent. Because they could also invite each other to a battle with me. I would additionally not want that. So that's a pretty good system there. I'm glad I won this little border war here. It was
complete.
Honestly pretty important to win that border war. because these systems are really, really
Construction complete.
good systems to hold, to have. I could really use 1,000 energy for the curators so that they can assist me in research. So I'm going to try to build up my energy credit economy a little bit more than it currently is.
Complete.
Alright, so you just finished. Let's go build mining station here.
Construction complete.
You finished. Let's go build a mine station there. Get some more energy credits. Raltech Prime now has a lot more unity. So if you look at my unity gain,
project complete.
I am probably flying past most of my enemies. Okay, so there's another curator or another enclave over there, which is really good to know. Building stations on enclaves can be quite handy. Alright, so what did I just unlock? I unlocked coil guns 2. I'm going to have a coil gun ship. I have a reactor booster. Yeah. So... why isn't it letting me... It's not, sometimes this happens, where... Design a... Yeah. Ship size? Oh, come on. Oh my god. I've been racing through everything and... There we go. Getting blocked up on one stupid little detail.
Our ships have been improved. Our ships have been improved.
Alright, so now all my ships are not auto-built. I've designed them. They're up to speed for me. I like it.
Special project complete.
And these guys are artists, so I really, really, really want to capture that territory. So I'm going to send my construction ships that way. I do have a lot of extra influence, so I'm going to declare a Saint, which is more unity. Even more unity, I know. Crazy, right? My anomaly researcher is almost level 4. I think once he's level 4, I'm going to task him with the getting all the anomalies that I've currently know about researched. And then I really want to build up
construction complete.
Enough energy credits to pay the curators to help me with my research, so I can bypass my neighbors even more. Alright, so these guys, this guy just finished, he leveled up, so let's have him double back and start popping off anomalies. He should be really, really fast at it, as his anomaly research speed is 68%. I guess it doesn't, it's not, yeah. Well, that's fine. And then my other construction ship, one is expanding my border, and the other one is just locking down more energy credits.
System survey complete.
And I'm almost done surveying everything I probably ever will survey. Oh, there's artisan troop right there too? Damn. That's just not in my contiguous border.
System survey complete.
Alright, so he's finished. So what I'm going to have him do is assist research at the homeworld while the anomaly researcher does anomalies. And I just got fusion reactors, which is really handy. Next up will be combat roles, and let's get mind and body. I think is required by the faction. Let's double check. Nope, they don't really care. Mind over matter ascension perk is what they want. So let's go for Utopian Dream. That will make my population a little happier and therefore more productive. Now, a lot of them are really, really quite happy now because they're belong to a faction that I've satisfied. Now, ideally, I'd want to snag Jurassics, but I don't know if I'm going to get there in time to beat this Star Realm or whatever.
The spirits have granted us.
Oh, and then another thing I wanted to do is to move my shipyard. Let's go ahead and do that. Got Biolab. Pop growth. Let's go ahead and throw Biolab in there. I can still upgrade this other science area, but I don't have engineering research, so I'm going to ignore that. I'm also slowly cranking out ships.
Construction complete.
There we go. That's a lot of energy credits. Now this is the starbase I really wanted. Artisan troops, you can have basically an artist colony or whatever. I forget exactly what it's called, but it's a module that you build on a spaceport that gives you more unity, and that would be really, really helpful to me. All right, pulsating stars. Where is that? Weird. Usually I would see... whatever. It will be more apparent later. Okay, so my anomaly researcher, let's have him start small and not jump to the really, really complicated, really difficult to analyze anomalies.
Construction complete.
That's a step that I don't need to do. Alright, so now this is a trading hub. Oh, it's called an art college. There we go. How am I doing?
Construction complete.
I didn't get Jurassics, but I did get this this area, which is super handy.
Construction complete.
And now I have another starbase, which will become my shipyard. And for the moment, I only really need one shipyard. I don't need two, so it's also going to have anchorage stations. Man, there is a lot of energy credits here. That's good. I'm glad I have a decent amount of energy credit systems. And this is once I fill in all the territory, that's pretty much the limit of the territory I will ever have. Robots are useful for spiritualists. They prohibit robots. The rest of this research kind of sucks for me. I don't want any of it, so I'll just do Corvette build cost. Because it's the cheapest, the fastest. Not what I wanted, though. Alright, what is this? This is making some planet crappy. But it did add societal research there, so that's cool. Because I don't care if the planet's crappy. Basically, the planet has less habitability, less happiness, but more societal research because there's so many dangerous wildlife there. But I was never going to colonize it, so that doesn't really affect me at all.
Construction complete.
Alright, so now I have 1,000 energy credits. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to become the patron of this artist first for more unity. Once again, stacking up the unity. So as you can see, all of the benefits to my unity now are really adding up. Oh, and I'm meeting people that are kind of like me. I just met them twice. Where are they? They are down here. So we're gonna like one another, which is good. Because so far, I'm mostly bordering military isolationists and people that don't like me. Which is not a good start. So now this scientist here is assisting research, which gives me 16% additional research, which is good.
Construction complete.
These guys just declared these guys rivals, so they're going to like me even more because we have mutual rivals. Ideally, I'd want a defensive pact with these guys, so that if they go to war with me, I get defended as well. That would be the smart play. So I'll be looking to sort of form that pact when I can. Let's go ahead and mine everything here.
Incoming transmission.
And the research agreement I'm going to turn down.
The spirits have granted
I don't
us new
really
wisdom.
believe in ever offering research agreements to anyone. I know that's pretty limiting.
Incoming transmission.
This is a non-aggression pact. I'll accept it. I do have a fair bit of influence I'm not currently using, but there's really nothing I need to use it on.
Construction complete.
Alright, so Raltech, my shipyard is now done. My ship's here. I'm gonna... Oh, weird. This should be the Raltech station. It got named by the old name. There, fix that. New election for a new leader. That's good. And then another thing I'm going to want is I'm going to want a starport here. So in 1 month, I'll build that. And this will be my Artists College Anchorage station. It's also a nice bottleneck to prevent them from steamrolling me in the north.
Updated.
So my new leader is a different... so previously my governor. But the governor... Yes, my scientific governor. So unfortunately, my hydroponics governor just took over, and I don't have a scientific governor to replace him. As for leader traits, I'm obviously not going to need frontier spirit, but a little extra minerals is nice. And what do I have to do? Miner mandate, that's good, because I have a lot of mining that I'm currently doing.
Construction complete.
And Utopian Dream, there we go. So what I'm going to do with this Utopian Dream is, let's put it here, with the adjacency bonus of the administration.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
I just analyzed something that gave me blue lasers, which is fine. It's nice.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Combat rolls, which is great. I'm going to have to design some better ships. I should also compare the strength of my ships to my enemies again, because it's been a little while, and I don't want them bypassing me because they'll try to murder me. All right, let's put two armor, 1 shields. Slightly different ships and upgrade them. They are superior, but inferior in tech. They're
Our
equivalent.
ships have been improved.
So I should be rolling off some additional ships off the line because they have passed me, and I don't want to be passed up. So I'll start saving up for that.
Construction complete.
What can I do with you? I guess I'll start filling in the rest of the territory.
The spirits have granted us new
Double
wisdom.
research. So better farms, let's do off-world trading for more energy, and then destroyers, absolutely. We're going to want destroyers rolling off the line as soon as possible. So this guy up here might not be needed anymore for hydroponics. They're insulting me.
Situation log updated. Construction complete.
Isn't that nice and lovely? Alright, so now I have this other star base up here with where the artist enclave is. So initially I'm going to do anchorage stations. And I'm going to save up a little bit more money. I want to start really rolling out a fleet so that my neighbors don't think they can like crush me.
Construction complete. Construction complete. Special project complete. Construction complete.
Alright, so I just got some free ships for one of the anomalies I researched. Yeah, oh, free ship. It is a
Alien Empire now speaks to
cruiser,
us in the
which is
language
pretty cool.
of the divine.
So I just discovered additional people, these guys. They are definitely not going to like me much, but we don't share a border, so they can't be my rivals quite yet. This artist troop, once I hit 50 opinion with them, oh yeah, they closed their borders to me. I'll be able to do that artist college. But I'm not quite there yet.
Construction complete.
So if you look at the paradise that I got pirates. If you look at the paradise I have here, there is, yeah, there's a lot of, there's actually not an adjacency bonus. So actually I'm going to replace this with power plant, and then replace this once it's built with the Paradise Dome. Little mistake I made, but not one that isn't salvageable. So my fleet and the pirate fleet is about the same strength. I'm not going to send my fleet.
Evading heretics.
Oh.
One of our stations is beset by enemies.
Okay. In true jackass form, my next door neighbor, military isolationist, when I tried to colonize this system, forced me to give it up. And I'm in no position to go to war with them, so I just said, okay, all right, you win. So that's, let's call that particularly uncool. Ooh, Ministry of Culture. I can't afford that, but that's something I really want in the future. So now that they've offered, that's something I'm definitely going to accept. So I guess Auriga will just be left alone for a while. I'm not likely to ever touch it. Alright, so the pirates are dead. There's a little bit of science to research off those pirates, so I'm going to do that. And let's destroy their base.
Construction complete.
Raiding them pirates. Alright, so we wanted to replace this with a Paradise Dome. There's a food adjacency bonus, but I don't think we're going to need the extra food.
Debris analyzed.
There's the debris analyzation that I wanted.
Incoming transmission.
And a defensive pact, which is what I was waiting for. I probably could have afforded that earlier. They would have awarded it to me, but
incoming transmission.
But no, I don't want your people moving in on my planet. No offense. Alright, so Theglin here. We'll build an outpost.
Construction complete.
And how is our fleet? Our fleet is equivalent with them. Again, which is good. Ooh, disease control.
Situation log updated.
Let's go ahead and back research that. Mind over body. Give our leaders a little bit extra lifespan.
Complete.
That never hurts. We are about at the limit of our border for Raltec. We're almost there. And that's fine. Because we don't... this is not a build where I'm going to go wide. We're going to go tall instead. Alright, so we do have another 1,000. We've had it for a little bit. So I'm just going to ask the science curators to aid us in research. So now if you look, I'm unfortunately humiliated, which hampers my research gain and lowers my happiness, and that was from the asshole Fallen Empires. But despite being humiliated, my people are plenty happy. Oops, sorry, I can't donate now.
Special project complete. Construction complete.
Alright, so I'm just about done with all of the potential border expansion and all that I can do. I got all the choke points I wanted. I really wanted Jurassics, but maybe I take it from them. And I don't want much more than that. I'm actually really, really happy with the amount that I have. Because the wider you go, the slower you research. So, command limit or starbase capacity. I think I'm going to go command limit. What I'm talking about is, if you look, I have 13 systems, which slows down my tradition by 13%. I don't have any additional colonies. Now, additional colonies is what slows your research and your traditions the most. So if you look at the amount of research I need, I only have 13 extra systems, which slows down my research 13%. So I'm able to research and gain traditions at a much accelerated rate compared to my enemies that have 3 colonies, 3 colonies, 2 colonies. That is the natural advantage of going tall instead of wide.
Construction complete.
Which is good. Alright, this construction ship, I can just blow up now. There's basically nothing for it to do. At this point, I'm just going to be rolling ships off the line until my armada is of decent strength.
Situation log updated. spirits have granted us new wisdom.
And I might need to revisit my ship designs, so I'm going to actually cancel my corvettes that I have
Construction
queued
complete.
up and go back to ship designer and see if there's anything better I can do here. Actually, really, there isn't.
Our ships have been improved.
Alright, so 5 more ships, and I'll have a maximum sized fleet that I can handle. That cruiser that I got from that anomaly is going to be helpful. Let's look at the cruiser's stats. Laser, plasma accelerators, pretty good shields. Yep, definitely don't mind that.
Construction complete.
So at this rate, the only place pirates can be is Ariga. As everywhere else is now colonized.
Construction complete.
And I only have a few anomalies left to research, which is good. I'm almost done. That's what I'm trying to say. Let's see. Let's build some science labs. And I'm able to roll out Starholds or Ion Thrusters. Maybe I'll do Starhold. I'm able to roll out some destroyers now. Unfortunately, so once I researched destroyers, I actually got 20 more fleet size capacity. So let's go ahead and design some destroyers that I like. I'm mixing the guns. Why do you keep doing this? Alright, so that's a destroyer design that I can stamp my approval on. And being able to build destroyers probably put us somewhat ahead of these guys. It says our fleets are equivalent, but I doubt that's going to remain to be true much longer. Yeah, my rep with them is not increasing very quickly. It's fine. I'm patient. And rolling destroyers off the line now. So this is probably a good time to stop. I have sort of, I'm about in an hour and I've sort of positioned myself. This is where I am in the galaxy. This is as far as I'm going to go for now. If you have any questions for me or feedback of any sort, drop me a line, and I hope to catch you next episode. Adios, all.